What's going on, guys? We're back again, I guess. Anyways, in the last video, we took out the... No, not that guy. Where is he? CC-02 unimog. I'm going to talk about what went wrong with that truck and why we have that truck, because that truck has actually been in the fleet for a while now, and we only took it out for the first time the other day. And we're going to touch base on my little hiatus. It's nothing major, just decided to take a little break. Probably should have told you guys that, but sorry. So let's start off with why I got this truck. Now, like I said earlier, this truck has been in the fleet for, I'm going to say, almost a year. I decided back in my provincial park tour, I forget what park I was at, that we needed a less capable truck for some of the simpler trails, because these trucks back here aren't as entertaining on a lot of the trails that we were on, simply because they're just too capable for basic flat trails. And there was the odd little roots and stuff like that, but they weren't anything challenging to crawl over. So it was then I realized that maybe I need a smaller tire truck, tiny truck, whatever you want to call them. And this was one of the more inexpensive trucks, because I didn't want to spend a ton of money on, for lack of better words, a less capable truck. I don't even like using the word less capable, but I guess a more challenging truck to drive. Now, obviously, this truck will not do what these trucks back here will do, because one, it's a lot shorter, a lot smaller, but that was the whole part of buying this truck. Now, this truck was supposed to make its debut in the Provincial Park Tour Season 2, I guess we'll call it, but because provincial parks are very difficult to get into, and not all of them, but the ones that we wanted to hit are very difficult to book a campsite. So we kind of didn't do a Season 2, so sort of left this truck in limbo. Like, what do we do with it? Its original name was actually the Park Roamer, and it's been painted white instead of my traditional orange, because it was going to simulate an Ontario Parks truck. Obviously, that has changed. Now, I'm not saying the Provincial Park Tour isn't going to happen again. It will in the future. But in the meantime, what do we do with this truck? Now, I already know it's not as capable as these guys, but can it be, is my question. In stock form, I honestly don't have an answer for that, because what went wrong with this truck on its maiden voyage, I'm boiling it down to the speed controller. I haven't tested it, but what I do have is a 1080 that I'm going to stick in here. Some of you were saying in the comments, oh, it probably thermaled out. I don't believe so, because the truck was completely cold. Like, the motor was cold, the speed controller, nothing was getting hot. So I don't believe it was that. Originally, I thought maybe my two-cell, my LiPo, was dying or going bad on me, but when I checked it, it was fine. I think it still had like 80-something%. So it wasn't that. So I'm boiling it down to that. It's the speed controller. I'm going to throw a 1080 in it, and we're going to try to redo that. Now, with that said, can it perform? Now, I've seen videos of these things performing, but I kind of want to see if I can push it to the limits. Now, it is a lot smaller, so I don't expect it to pull the same lines as some of the larger trucks. Now, that is not a shot at this truck. It's just a proportion thing. You wouldn't take a Toyota RAV4 the same place a Jeep would, like a fully built Jeep. Sort of along that lines. I know it's probably not the best analogy, but what I'm saying is, can it do more things than it was intended to do? I believe it can. Where that limit is, I'm thinking we're going to try to find out. Now, because it was a provincial park tour truck, or was supposed to be, I think it's only fair that we take it to a provincial park to push its limits, push its boundaries. Um, so coming up next month in July, we are returning to Charleston Lake. Um, there's a lot of hard lines at that parts of the park that would challenge some of these trucks, and it has. But can I do it with this? Now, I'm not the best driver at tiny tires, so some of it I'm going to put on myself. I am going to say that, a lot of it may boil down to my driving. Um, and others will be just the fact that it's a smaller truck, and Tamiya, Tamiya, whatever you want to call it, didn't really intend it to do some of this stuff. Thus, the tires, which, by the way, these are the stock tires that came with it. Now, I'm no unimog expert. I don't know if unimogs really come with tires like this. Now, I've only seen a handful of pictures of them, and I don't think I've ever seen one with like a road tire. So clearly, scale or not scale, Tamiya didn't really intend on this truck going similar places as those trucks. So my goal is to make it do that. Now, before I say what we're gonna do to this truck, we're gonna send it back out on the trails once we change the speed controller and see where we got. Sort of like a baseline. I already know that I'm not happy with the stock links that come on this truck, and the shocks are, so maybe we'll see what we can do with those. But that's about it. That's all I'm going to say for right now. So, park roamer, or former park roamer, we gave it a new name. It's now named Stumpy. I might actually put that on here. Just because it's so much tinier than your other trucks. Like, here's a Red Cat Gen 8. You see what I'm talking about? So, Stumpy. So that is it. So my little hiatus. I just decided that I was gonna take a break from recording stuff. I have a ton of things going on outside of RC, and in the next couple of weeks, it's gonna start to slow down, and we can get back to what we enjoy doing. Not that I don't enjoy doing the other things outside of RC, but this is gonna be fun. These are fun to drive, and we'll see what yours truly can make a CC-02 do or not do. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I know it wasn't the most entertaining video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, happy trails.